Alright, so I gotta talk to you guys about American Idol. Now, to give you some background on my experience with American Idol, I really grew up with it very young. I watched it from season 2 all the way up to season 11, Philip's season, which is when we stopped, and we didn't watch 12, 13, 14, or 15, but we did watch the finale of 15 because it was the farewell season finale. It had so many old people from it. And then 16, this newest season on ABC came out, and we're like, yeah, I don't know about the people, the judges on it and everything. I don't know. I doubt it'll be good, but we'll check it out anyway. And I honestly really enjoyed the judge dynamic from the beginning. Though now it's honestly at the point where they don't give any negative criticism, which is kind of annoying. I do think they need a bit of a Simon Cowell in there to even things out a little bit, because there have obviously been a lot of flawed and mediocre performances, which they just praised, which I don't think is always the best thing to do. But I wanted to talk about a couple things. So we're down to the top 5, and first off, I think Gabby Barrett is indisputably the best, the front runner right now. She should win beyond a shadow of any doubt in my mind. If you take into account vocal ability, she's been nearly flawless every performance she's done. If you take into account stage presence, she has definitely the most stage presence of everyone. If you watch like performances like Little Red Wagon that she did, all the way down to her ballads like The Climb, it's all there. It's appropriate stage performance when it needs to be done, and she seems very comfortable out there. If you take someone like Journey definitely should have been in the top 5 over someone like a Caleb. But at this point, I feel like Caleb is a shoo-in for the finals, and that's one of the things I want to talk about is the big flaw here with American Idol 2018 on ABC. And it blew my mind when they introduced this. The voting method, the voting process, they changed it. Now, as far as I know, the voting was still the same for season 15. I could be wrong here, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, this is my reaction to this new voting process, where voting starts at the beginning of the episode, of the performances, and you find out the results by the end. Tell me one good reason to do something like that. It's obviously so they can only do one a week, so they don't have to do 2 episodes a week, but I don't see any good justification for doing it. The flaws kind of speak for themselves. Like, wow, just it makes it so the performances are basically useless, and everyone's basing their votes on a popularity contest. So your favorite's always going to be your favorite each week. You're going to vote as soon as the episode starts, and you might not even watch anybody else's performances. You just bow out after you get your 10 votes in. And yeah, the votes come at the end of the show, so you have someone perform, and then moments later the results are read. Obviously there's a flaw there, because the performance has no bearing on whether they're staying or going. And Ryan Seacrest is announcing in the first half of the show, like, oh, we already have like 5 million votes in, this is great. But no, not even half of the people have performed yet, and he's saying this, not great. So obviously this makes it a lot more of American Idol's always been kind of a popularity contest. Obviously each week you're not always going to get the perfect vote going according to the talent and who deserves to stay. But having only one person go a week helped to combat that a bit. And I'm not saying they have to have one person go a week, though I'm still not a fan of the chunks they did in the top 14, having like 4 go and then 2 go, whatever, 3 go and then 2. It's just very weird because it's kind of arbitrary groupings. You could just kind of happen to be in the wrong side of the numbers on any given week. But also, if you look at how the rankings fell, at the top 14, the ones that were the bottom 4 voted, the judges had to put through. They ended up being, 3 of those 4 ended up being the ones that went home. And then Journey was the only one left to that bottom group, and she went home the next week. So if that's not evidence enough that the trend is continuing, they're just going, the rankings are staying the same and they're just chopping off the bottom. That's not what you want in a singing competition, not at all. You want someone to be able to do poorly and be in danger of going home. You want someone to be able to do really well and bring themselves up from the bottom. That was always the whole point of the bottom. You'd have like a bottom 3, and it would actually be like, wow, bottom 3 out of 12, out of 10, that actually means something. And then you'd get like surprise votes in there where you'd still get the drama that the producers want, whereas you got the front runner in the bottom 3 suddenly. It's like, ooh, that was a close call. We got to make sure to vote next time, and hopefully he'll perform better next time. Stuff like that. You just don't get with this process. And voting beginning of the episode, it's bad. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on it. And that just means the trend has already been set, and I think the winner's probably already been determined. Just from the trend that's been set on voting, because people are going to continue to vote the same way until the finals. Obviously, the only factors that change are if people redirect their votes when their people go home. But it's still not going to be too significant to make it that interesting, I don't think. And from what I don't know the votes, but the way they've been revealing the votes and the results and everything, Caleb seems to not be in danger at all. He's always seems to be the top. In fact, I theorize he's getting the most votes. There's something with country singers that always do that. Scotty McCreery, who I did really like in his season. At the same time, I can admit that he wasn't the best every week, yet he was safe every week, and he just rode all the way to the finale just based on that popularity, because there's such a large country base with American Idol for some reason. Caleb, I didn't think should have been in the top 14 to begin with. And though the last couple of performances have been great from him, at the same time, I don't think he should be in the top 5, and probably he'll end up being in the top 3. It's just that is the problem right now with American Idol. Those are the few of the problems. The judges need some more criticism in there. The voting system's all messed up. It leads to a simply popularity contest and nothing else. And yeah, I'd say Gabby should win without a doubt. And now what's worrying me is if the voting really is... They never said it was in order before, but if they were revealing the results in order before, that would put Gabby right towards the bottom too with Michael. And so she could possibly be cut before the finale, which would be a travesty, I think. She's just clear and above the best on the show right now for me. And I think if you look at it objectively, that is the case as well, because she might have that country to her, but at the same time she has the soulfulness to do songs other than just the country way, and I really love that. It's a great skill that she has there. But yeah, I've been a fan of Cade as well. I think Cade should be in the finale. I think it should be probably Gabby, Cade, and I could see justification for Michael or Maddie being the other spot there, though I do suspect it will be Caleb. I think he's probably a surefire spot right now, unfortunately, but I guess we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I did think Journey had such a smooth voice, but she really lacked a personality. She didn't have much of a personality at all. She does have just such a distinct look, and that name is a great name for a performer. Journey, Journee. Oh my, and she has the beautiful face and just a look made for it. Packed with a great voice, which it was really smooth, but she had like no personality, and she was already on the bottom, and with this voting system there was no coming back from it. She was just the bottom each time until she got cut off right at the end there. So let me know what your thoughts are if you're watching American Idol. Who you think should be the winner? What do you think of the top 5? And what do you think of the judges? What do you think of the voting system? I think it's so bad. It's so bad. Because, in case you're going to mention it, I know you can rearrange your votes online. You can vote up to 10 times per contestant, which is very similar to America's Got Talent style voting. And you can switch before the end of the night. But the thing is, America's Got Talent actually opens the voting at the end of the show, as you should in a talent competition, where you want to have people actually watch all the performances and vote based on that. But yeah, also with texting, you can't take back your vote with texting. They still have texting as an option, so that flaw is there. It's there to stay, because if just a significant portion of people use texting to vote, then those are sealed votes going in the beginning already to their favorites. It's kind of messed up. And this comes from someone who's a long-time American Idol watcher, and I just wish it would return to its roots in that way. I just wanted the focus to be more on finding the right talent now, and not just like characters and stories, things like that, which these singing competitions have geared and steered more towards. I loved the Disney night, though. That was incredible. Everyone did incredibly well with their Disney songs. But again, the results weren't anything I was like, ooh, what are the results going to be? Because it ended up falling right down the line. So it seems almost like, why are you even cutting people if you know how it's going to go anyway? You can skip right to the finale. It wouldn't be too crazy unpredictable, I don't think. But yeah, that's it. Thanks. I love you. And that's it. All right.